Hello viewers, you're welcome to another section of Knowledge is Power. And today I will be dealing on graphical representation of algebra. And we know that algebra is very important in what we do today: business, education, hospitality, and health. So we need algebra because it helps us to think clearly, to solve real world problem, and navigate a world that is built on pattern, data, and relationship. So I think algebra is not just mathematics; it is a life skill that is needed to be able to deal with some issues or to solve some problems. Without wasting much time, I will jump into an action to solve this problem here, and it appears in the word form, in the word problem. So, but the first thing to do is to read this question very well. It is very important when you're solving a word problem to read it, to have better understanding of what is required of you to do, and also to be able to write down the equation that will be needed. And I'll explain this a little bit. This is GeoGebra. So this problem will be solved on GeoGebra. And here it's the spreadsheet that will be needed to solve this um, algebra problem. And here I have about 4 columns here, but 2 columns will be needed because we're going to use A and B, and the line in between them will serve as a inequality sign. So let me um, adjust this a little bit so that we can have a better view of what we are doing. Good. So good. So now, like I say, it's very important to read the question very well to understand what is needed to be done. And the question says, you and your roommate are considering joining a membership based wholesale club so that you can purchase groceries and dry goods in bulk. Because there are many of you living together. Maybe a family is a big family, and you figure you will shop at the club regularly. You are considering the option of purchasing an individual membership or an executive membership. And executive membership, the individual membership costs $25. The executive membership costs $50, but you will receive 2% back at the end of the year on all your purchases. So, which membership should you purchase and why? So we have two membership in this problem. So we have the individual membership, which costs $25, while the executive membership, which costs $50. I think anyone can decide to just go for individual membership because we feel it is cheaper because the cost is $25. But the basis of this problem is to find out which course is affordable in terms of time, in terms of cost management. So which membership we will choose. So here, in solving this problem, the first thing to do is to write out the equation. Now, let's use S to represent the total cost of the purchases at the end of the year. Let's use X. So if we use S to represent the total purchases at the end of the year, so it means that if we're going for individual membership cost, so that will be X plus 25, S plus 25. Then we move to the next column, which says the executive membership cost $50, and also we will receive 2% back at the end of the year. if we decide to go for that. So that will be 50, 50 plus, uh, 50 plus x, then subtract 0.02 x, which is the discount, which is in form of discount that we'll receive if we decide to go for the executive membership course. Good. So since we've succeeded in writing out the equation that we needed to solve this problem, so I will just delete this question here so that we have a better view of our graph or the lines that will be appearing once we start solving this problem. So the first thing we'll do here is just to subtract x from both sides of this equation here. So we can say here, on this column here, we can say a1 minus x equals to, and it appears in this form. Good. So mind you, we'll also be visualizing on this side to see how the lines will be appearing. Good. So the next to do, let's subtract on the right hand side, since we have subtracted x on the left hand side. So we can say b1 minus x. So enter. So and the next thing to do, let's just simplify now. So next column, you just simplify. So simplify. So close bracket. That will be a2. So we'll simplify. We'll have 25 there. So we'll also here simplify on the right hand side. So it's a simplify. Close bracket b2. So b2. Good. So the next thing to do, we have plus 50 on the right hand side. So it's just like collecting the like terms on both sides of the equation. We have succeeded in moving x on one side of the equation. So let's also move uh, the constant. We have variable s is the variable. We have the constant here is 50 and 25. So let's see how we can move 50 on the other side of the equation. So let's come here. We'll say a a3 subtract 50. Also here say b3 subtract 50. So the next step is to simplify. So let's simplify. Simplify. Close bracket. A4. Close bracket. A4. So we have minus 25 on the left hand side. Also here we'll simplify b4. Simplify. Close bracket. b4. Good. So now the next thing to do is to find a way to isolate this x here to make it, let's say maybe to make it a subject formula. So to make it a subject formula, we can also say let's multiply on both sides of the equation with 50. So let's use 50 to multiply both sides of the equation. So come here, we can say a5 times negative times minus 50 equals to, so on the right hand side also we'll say b5 times negative 50. So we have this. So we have this. So let's next step. Let's simplify again. Simplify. Simplify. Close bracket. Close bracket. A6. A6. Good. So on this right hand side, simplify. Simplify. Close bracket B6. So we have succeeded in solving this problem, and it shows that x is equals to 1,250. 1,250. So 1,250. So let's gradually um, um, reduce the size of this so that we can be able to see the lines and how they intersect each other. Yes, like I said, it's GeoGebra is a wonderful tool. So you see what we can use GeoGebra to do. You understand, to solve an algebra and represent it in a graphical form. Graphical form. Good. So zoom zoom it again, so you can gradually see the beauty of GeoGebra, what GeoGebra can do. This is a graphical representation of what uh, we have done here, solving this problem using a spreadsheet to solve an algebra, and you see it appear on this graph here, showing you all the whole intersection. That's the relationship, how the lines intersect each other, each other. So it's very important. So graphical algebra is a step you need, you understand, to help you solve some graphical problems, or to create a new equation that is equivalent to original. So I said, why does the vertical line x is equals to 1,250? Because it passes through every intersection. See, when you transform an equation by adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing both sides by the same value, you create an equivalent. Equation. Equivalent equation may look different, and their graph may shift or stretch, but they always share the same solution. They always share the same solution. So the interpretation, I think, if you spend more than 1,250 in a year, the executive membership becomes the better deal, because the 2% cashback will exceed the extra $25 cost. But if you spend less than 1,250, the individual membership um, is more economic choice, because the cashback from the executive membership will not make up for an additional cost. So you see, it's very important we use this kind of uh, uh, app uh, software tool, you understand, to solve a word problem, more especially in algebra. So let me highlight the column and use a color so that we can be able to see the graph very well, and see all the whole intersection, how the lines intersect.